Episode 12 of When the Phone Rings starts with Hee-Ju having a nightmare of Sion getting shot by the kidnapper. She wakes up from the dream, but her reality is not any less hurtful. Sion has disappeared for the past 6 months, no one knows where he is. 6 months ago, Hyuk-jin called Hee-Ju and informed her that Sion donated all his inheritance to different charities. He also quit his job and went MIA. For days, Hee-Ju waited for him to come back to her. She followed up every lead, including visiting Doo-jae multiple times to find a clue about Sion's whereabouts. Unfortunately, no one told her anything. Even Ina, who knew why Sion left, kept her sister in the dark. The police killed the real Paik Sion on the fateful night when he threatened Hee-Ju and her husband. Kyujin was sentenced to life imprisonment, but she appealed and asked for a death sentence. She could never forgive herself for not protecting her son. In her last conversation with her true son, she confessed her regrets and wished she had protected him from Paik Jang-ho. Never did she acknowledge that her son was in the wrong, too. As for Ui Hyung, he denounced his family and announced that he would live an ordinary life. Mr. Min was the only one who was truly remorseful and was jailed for 5 years. After months of dating, Yuri and Sang-woo finally got engaged. We were so wrong about Sang-woo. We couldn't be happier about his newfound love with Yuri. After months of looking for Sion, Hee-Ju gets a clue when she receives a letter from Argan, thanking her for donating 2 billion won to a sign language school. She meets with Hyuk-jin and asks him about his time as a soldier with Sion and Argan. Hyuk-jin tells her that Sion had a special spot to watch sunsets in Argan. She decides to visit the war-torn country to look for Sion. Even against multiple advice, she insists on going to Sion's old sunset spot. She ends up getting kidnapped by the rebels, but fortunately, Sion rescues her. He admits that he felt guilty after learning Paik Jang-ho killed Hee-Ju's brother. He thought Hee-Ju was pretending not to know the truth for his sake. Ina had initially told him that Hee-Ju knew the truth. He wanted to punish himself by setting Hee-Ju free. Hee-Ju reminds him that they have lost enough time misunderstanding each other and she is done waiting. She passionately embraces Sion, and they end up making love. Sion admits that he donated to the sign language school because he's planning to divorce Hee-Ju, but he's actually planning to remarry her under his new name. Sion changes his name to Paik Yu-yeon and remarries Hee-Ju. They move to a new place and invite their close friends to celebrate their union. It is at this party that Yuri announces her engagement to Sang-woo. Later, Hee-Ju talks to her family, and her parents give her their blessings. After everything that has happened, Hee-Ju is ready to forgive her parents but hopes to take the relationship slow. She also forgives Ina and encourages her to forget the past and find her happiness. On the other hand, Yu-yeon reconnects with Sang-hoon. Simultaneously, Hee-Ju gets a new job as a sign language interpreter at the broadcast station. Yu-yeon gets a new job as a state negotiator and is sent on an impromptu mission, causing Hee-Ju to worry. The show ends with Yu-yeon calling Hee-Ju back after succeeding in his recent mission. He asks Hee-Ju to keep calling him 406 when she is angry so that he can know when he has done something wrong. Hee-Ju agrees to keep it real with him always and asks that he safely return to her. Surprisingly, Doo-jae is working as Yu-yeon's assistant. Well, as we suspected, Paik Jang-ho was behind the accident that killed Hee-Ju's brother. This is why Sion/Yu-yeon went into hiding for 6 months. The ending of this show was a bit anticlimactic. Was it necessary to have Sion and Hee-Ju have another misunderstanding? The whole Argan storyline felt too dramatic and unnecessary. We could have used more lovey-dovey scenes that were not imaginary. The writers also deprived us of Sang-woo and Yuri's relationship arc, which is a pity. They make a cute couple, and seeing how their story developed would have been nice. Other than that, the show wrapped up all the storylines perfectly. Most, if not all, of our questions were answered, and we got a happy ending. Were you satisfied with the ending? What did you love most about this show? Please do let us know in the comments.